We're talking with Speaker Newt Gingrich on the MoneyShow.com video network. Glad to have you with us.
Great to be here.
On the subject of rogue states, which China obviously isn't, what about what's going on right now with a much closer neighbor in Venezuela? Would you favor putting Venezuela on a terrorist state list, which is now being considered?
Well, I think if the evidence we're getting of the degree to which he's helping finance the terrorist in Colombia is incontrovertible, I think you have no choice. From what I've seen so far, they apparently captured a number of documents and a number of computer files which indicate unequivocally that Hugo Chavez is funding terrorism in Colombia. Well, I think if that's the case, then we have an obligation. I also know that over the years that he has had, he's gone to Iran. He has a very close relationship with Ahmadinejad, the head of the Iranian dictatorship. By itself, that doesn't carry him across the line. But when combined with what he's doing in Latin America, it begins to make me think that this may well be a dictatorship that is increasingly supportive of terrorism.
Where are we with Iraq and specifically Iran? What's your view of the surge, the current strategy, the long-term strategy, and what's going on with Iraq? Because you've watched Ahmadinejad like Winston Churchill watched Hitler. And
yeah. Look, I think that we are being very badly disserved by the State Department and by a diplomatic culture that refuses to be honest. We are faced with opponents in the irreconcilable wing of Islam who, for religious reasons, are dedicated to the destruction of our way of life. They are deadly serious. They're going to do all they can to destroy us. They're very open about it. Their websites are very unequivocal about it. The Iranian dictatorship is a revolutionary regime. It wants to defeat us. It wants to eliminate Israel from the face of the earth. It wants to reconquer Spain, for example. I mean, and they talk about this. It's not like these things are not said publicly and openly. We just have learned that the North Koreans and the Syrians were apparently trying to build nuclear weapons, something which apparently our intelligence community did not know, was not aware of, denied for a while. But now there seems to be overwhelming evidence that they were trying to do it. That can't have been happening without Iranian support. I believe the Iranians and the North Koreans are working diligently to develop a missile capability and a nuclear weapon capability. And I think, for example, that they might well threaten the world at some point with using nuclear weapons on the Saudi oil fields. I mean, people have to think, when you're dealing with people who are, by our standards, utterly irrational, you have to ask yourself, what are they capable of, not what do you think they intend? And I think that the Iranians would be delighted to take out the Saudi oil fields, see the price of oil skyrocket to $600 or $700 a barrel, and then be the guys who are in control of the access to the Persian Gulf. I think they would then cut a deal with China and India, and they would do everything they could to cripple Europe and the United States. And I see no reason why that's not a reasonable threat.
We've been speaking with Speaker Newt Gingrich on the MoneyShow.com video network.